What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today we'll be taking a look over some undrafted draft prospects that possibly could have good careers. But as I was making this, they all decided to sign with the team like 5 minutes after the draft, so they are all on a team now. There is 4 of them, and I'm gonna go over their strengths, their weaknesses, my original teams that I thought would get them, and the most likely that I thought would get them. A comparison to an NFL player, and their cons for them, and their overall for me. So first, to start this video off, we're gonna go with Carson Strong, a quarterback out of Nevada. He signed with the Eagles not too long ago, I don't think. So he is an Eagle now, but he was undrafted. It's gonna be interesting to see how much playtime he gets. I don't think he'll get that much, which kind of sucks because I think he could actually be a pretty decent player. But some of the teams I thought originally that could get him were the Vikings, and I thought they were the most they were most likely to get him because Kirk Cousins is getting up there in age, and it seems like they just need to start planning for the future. I know they got Kellen Mond, but it's just, you never know. The Seahawks, another team. This was probably the least likely out of all of these because they have Drew Lock. They passed up on all the quarterbacks in the draft. They have Jacob Eason too, so that's 2 really young quarterbacks. So it doesn't really matter what they decide to do in that case. And then the Giants obviously deciding not to pick up Daniel Jones' 5th-year option, so I thought they could be contenders for him, but he ends up going to the Eagles, and I did not predict that, but it's whatever. Some of the pros to Carson Strong as a quarterback is he's not afraid to throw in very, very tight windows. He has pretty good arm strength too. He's calm under pressure. Places the ball very nicely while in the red zone in particular. Makes decent reads, not like pro level, but I don't think a lot of draft quarterbacks know how to make NFL level reads when they're drafted. And he also is pretty good at extending the play to see if he can find anyone open downfield or just tuck it and run it. My NFL comparison to him was Kirk Cousins. It just kind of felt like the way that he stands in the pocket and throws it, and then occasionally will go outside, really modeled Kirk Cousins' game in a way, in my opinion. So, I mean, obviously I had him going to the Vikings, so he would have gotten to play with my comparison to him, but, it's whatever. Some of the things that are not so on the strong side for Carson Strong, or sometimes he tries to throw into windows that are very, very, very tight, and that NFL corners and DBs would not let that ball not get into their hands. So yeah, it may have worked at the college level, but I don't think it will work in NFL. And also another thing that is going to be common with these 4 is that they did not, he in particular, but they mostly did not play at a very high collegiate level of competition. he played at Nevada, so I don't know. Overall, he's not totally NFL ready, but I don't think anyone really coming out of the draft is totally NFL ready. But he can get there with proper coaching. I think he's very coachable. He can make throws, but not always NFL throws, like I was saying, those tight windows. And yeah, so I really like him. Good pickup for the Eagles. I don't really think he'll get used that much, though, so we'll just have to see. Moving on to Justin Ross. He has not actually been signed that I know of. I will put the team on the screen if he has gotten signed since the last time I checked. The teams that I thought could most likely get him were 1, the Panthers, 2, the 49ers, which was most likely with the trade of Deebo Samuel, and 3, the Jets. The Jets obviously not needing wide receivers as much with the new addition of, I want to say it was Garrett Wilson. I don't know. I really want to say it's Garrett Wilson, though. But he's on the screen. What I would say about Justin Ross, he has a pretty good vertical, and he has great route running abilities. That's all I really found about him. My comparison to him would be Julian Edelman, although I think Julian Edelman was a bit faster. He's sometimes a bit slow, actually most of the time. His 40 time at his pro day was a 4.68, which is very low for a wide receiver, and he's kind of injury prone. Just to give you a brief history, he missed 2020 with a neck injury and played through a bit of the 2021 season with a foot injury, but would be ruled out for the rest of the season after that. Overall, he's a decent player. Slower for a wide receiver, but in a bit injury prone. But besides that, he has a great route running ability, and he could really be good at that level. Another Eagle, Mario Goodrich out of Clemson. He's a corner. Although I really think he would he would play his best football playing at a free safety position, just based off of the types of plays that he makes. It will be on the screen. As you can see, there's a lot of tipped passes that he likes to intercept. It's more of a safety thing to do than a corner thing to do, which is why I think that he would be more of a corner. He has good speed. He gets to the ball carrier fast. He pays attention after the catch. He makes plays on close to drop passes, bobbled passes, and bad passes, which is more of a safety trait in my opinion. His NFL comparison would be Kevin Byard, the free safety of the Tennessee Titans. Just because, in a way, Kevin Byard, is always kind of lurking around in the back, Although that is good, this is more from him being a corner. All of his interceptions came off of tipped / bad / bobbled passes. And he does not play the best man coverage, which he plays better zone, which again is a good trait for a safety to have. He did not get much playing time, I don't think, at Clemson, but nonetheless, he still got signed by the Eagles, pretty much 5 minutes after the draft. Overall, I think he's a good pickup, but would probably need to start at safety. for full potential of the value. We'll just see how the Eagles decide to use him. All of his passes really did come from bad passes and tip passes and stuff, which also could prove to be a red flag because there's not many drop passes in the NFL as much as there is in, And moving on to our last player, Verone McKinley III, safety out of Oregon. Actually, I see a lot of similarities between Mario Goodrich and him, but moving on from Mario Goodrich, Verone McKinley is officially a Dolphin. He was undrafted though. He absolutely flies to the ball. He has great hands, and great footwork too. Teams that I think could pick him up, well, before he got signed by the Dolphins, were the Cowboys, the Jets, and the Colts being my most likely contender for him. The Cowboys have Malik Hooker, which, you could make an argument would be a good player. The Jets have young players there, but, it's just, you don't know. And then the Colts, I don't remember the guy's name. I think he's 31 years old, so they would need a safety because he's getting up there in age. His comparison, I kind of struggled on. In a lot of ways, he reminded me of Earl Thomas minus a Seahawks Earl Thomas minus the hard hits. I didn't really see any hard hits out of him, but yeah. Some of the bad things about this player is his interceptions could have been caused by a great defensive line that would include the 5th overall pick, Kayvon Thibodeau. So it could have been that, which is much like a Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs kind of thing, but who knows. He did not play the highest level of collegiate challenge. Like I said, that's something that will show up a lot. And there were more drops in college than in the NFL, like I said. Overall, though, I think he's a steal for an undrafted guy. He, flies all around the field. I was having trouble keeping track of where he was when I was watching some of his highlights. And the concerns are really minor, minus the defensive line thing, because you go into the Dolphins, which doesn't necessarily have the greatest defensive line, so if it was caused by that, that's not good. But it's not really something to worry about. In my opinion, that was a good pickup by the Dolphins. So tell me what you guys think. Did I miss anyone? If I did, you can tell me in the comments and I'll make a part 2. But, yeah, see you guys next time. Peace. Okay.